Well, after another Cubs meltdown, can the Wrigley Magic help prevail the Cubs to get back into this series starting on Wednesday night? Kyle and I are unfortunately going to talk about it all next here on the Setup Man Podcast. Well,
Come in.
welcome into the Setup Man Podcast. Kyle, okay, we're gonna somehow
that's really
this.
hurting.
We're gonna somehow talk about this, but thank you so much for joining us here again on the Setup Man Podcast. My name is Ty Lewin, alongside the Podfather himself, Mr. Kyle Stanley. If you're tuning in for the first time, please comment, like, subscribe. We could use all the help we can as we continually grow the show here on the Setup Man Network. And we're going to somehow, some way, try to get through this breakdown as to what just occurred in Game 2 in Milwaukee. But first, before we do anything, okay, this is really hard for us, folks. This is going to be a really hard episode. You could probably already tell that I'm already butchering my words. I don't even know where to start.
I'm ready to carry us, Ty. I'm mad. I'm emotional. I'm all the things. I'll carry us. Let's do this thing.
Let's start with this, Kyle, because we've seen there are already 35 people with us. We are so thankful to see all of you here joining us tonight, especially how late it is out there in the Wrigley time zone. But Kyle, look, it'd be naive of us to not start off with talking about Shota Imanaga tonight. The Cubs, of course, did lose 7-3. Shota ended up with a line of 2 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned, 0 walks, 3 Ks. But the big thing here is the 2 home runs. I'll turn it over to you, my friend, because I think that you probably thought about what you were going to say about Mr. Imanaga here.
I mean, it's a culmination to me. It's not just Imanaga. It's Imanaga's 2 home runs plus the 0-2 home run from Daniel Palencia to Jackson Chourio. Do you know that we gave the Brewers their very first 2 3-run home runs in their postseason history tonight? That was a stat. I can't take credit for that stat. That was on TBS. They said first 55 games of their entire postseason franchise history never hit a 3-run home run. We gave them 2 tonight. First one was Devil's Magic, Brewers Devil's Magic. That thing was going to hit Andrew Vaughn if he didn't swing. It was a pop-up, and it just kept on freaking going. So, first of all, I was really optimistic after those first 2 at-bats. I will say that. Shota's pumping 93, 94. We hadn't seen that all year. If you didn't see, you need to go over to Lance Brzezowski's Twitter. After that, it got bad. It was like 92.4 average in the first inning. There was like 91, and then it was like 90.2 or something like that. Whatever Lance tweeted, please go check it out. Shota came out hyped up, but man, after those first 2 strikeouts, it just all went downhill. And we just saw the same Shota that we'd seen all of September, giving up home runs left and right. And then the bigger disappointing thing for me, Ty, and you texted me when it was 4-3, and I completely agreed, felt like we were down 10 runs, because this, not just offense, I want to give the entire team credit for this. Remember how good they were at overcoming adversity in April and May? That's just not a thing anymore. I mean, this team gets down in the playoffs, and you might as well put a fork in it now. Let's just go ahead and save the rest of the bullpen, forfeit right now because they're down. So it's disappointing. I'm going to save. I'm emotional tonight. I'm probably going to say some things that I'm going to watch the replay and be like, I probably shouldn't have said that. Some of the players know me, and but I think at the end of the day, as fans, we're allowed to get frustrated. And I think the players are probably frustrated too. I think that Craig's frustrated. I don't think we're the only ones that are frustrated, but, yeah, it's pretty pitiful when it happens in this kind of fashion.
Yeah. You talk about punching them in the mouth and then them punching us in the mouth, kicking us in the chest, and then beating the shit out of us on the ground for the next 3 hours.
They
That's
went Mark
practically
Sanchez.
what it
They went Mark
was.
Sanchez on us today.
Oh,
Oh, too soon.
I needed that. That was good. That was good. Pretty ugly pictures that came out of that situation. Okay, back to the game. But so I agree with everything you said, Kyle. It's a situation at this point where we've talked about the Brewers and how they are this year, right? The first two at bats against Churio and Terang, he looked outstanding, right?
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Two sweepers in a row to William Contreras that he somehow ducks his ass out of the way, throws his barrel out, and ends up getting a hit. And then Yelich with a little bit better of just an inside-out swing that gets them the chance to have a player that has had just one of the greatest turnarounds I've seen in a very, very long time when it comes to immediately turning a season around, a career around in Andrew Vaughn. Because this guy just got himself a heck of a contract here in the future based on what he has done since he's come into Milwaukee. And I don't think he ever wants to leave Milwaukee, by the way. But that at bat was so critical because in the at bat against Churio, he nails the fastballs on the inner half, nails them, right?
Yeah, they were very well placed. Yep.
And if you look at the Vaughn at bat, the third pitch and the fifth pitch is he misses those fastballs in. And unfortunately, in playoff baseball, missing pitches that aren't just a few inches off, but missing them where, it's just not going to put you in a good spot. But realistically, even that swing by Vaughn, I mean, most people looked at it and said, how in the world did that get out? He still hit it 109.2 miles per hour, folks.
Which is crazy. I mean, when that, were you watching that live? I know you had to travel back from.
I was secretly driving and peeking at the phone during it. So I was not texting and driving. I was not viewing and driving. But unfortunately, yes, I did get to see that. And I will tell you this. When Contreras and Yelich got those two hits, did your just heart sink? You knew. You knew.
I was very cautiously pessimistic.
Yes.
But I will say, man, like as soon as Vaughn hit that, it was for me immediately. I was just like, oh, sigh of relief, fly ball to left field. Why is he backing up? Why is he still backing up? Why is he looking into the stands? Why am I in opposite world? It's just, I mean, but that's the way that the Brewers were all this year. And we've talked about it before on camera and off camera. You and I have conversations all the time. When you are in your World Series winning year, you just look back on the entire year and you just notice, wow, a lot of things went our way. And that's why I really think at the end of the day, the Brewers are the team to beat in the playoffs. I do not see any other team playing well against them if they continue to play like this. And I think where I probably went wrong on this tie was I thought to myself, well, they got that week-long break. They got that bye. That kills teams. Look at what it's done to the Phillies. Look what it's done to a lot of teams in the past. And oh, by the way, we were 7-6 against them during the regular season. We just took 3 of 5 of them at Wrigley. Oh boy, Mizrowski sure has been miserable. Oh boy, Brandon Woodruff is down. Oh boy, they don't have their closer in Tyler McGill. Oh boy, we got a shot. I did it to myself.
It's and then I think what really, and folks, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, is just the story of the series and the story of what the difference is between the Cubs and the Brewers in a situation where you have a guy that would be a godsend on the Brewers and Nico Horner, right? Comes up with runners with first and second with 2 outs on a 2-0 count. I forget the ending here, but, and of course flies out to right field.
I think it was the second inning.
That situation, when that happened, again, there are just moments when you play the game of baseball, and I'm guessing a lot of our viewers have played at certain points, played at a high level, all that. Anytime that you play these teams that are just pesky as hell, like Scott Darling even mentioned it, Ron Darling, said this in in the broadcast, 9 pesky hitters in a row. Our pesky hitter tonight hit a fly out to right field with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah.
The storyline of it all was Justin Turner and how he's going to do in the leadoff position. And I tweeted this and I said, the rest, this isn't about Justin Turner. The rest of the lineup has to do something. It can't just be this dumb storyline about how we're going to have to sit Michael Busch and all these different things. Like, no, like the Brewers through Ashby, they gave up a 3-run home run. And if the Brewers and Cubs were to switch jerseys and switch organizations, we would have lost that game. Or the Brewers would have lost that game. But I'm getting beside myself here. Look, it's so unfortunate, guys. Right now, if you look at the series, the Milwaukee Brewers have scored 16 runs on 24 hits. The Cubs have scored 6 runs total on 10 hits. So it's just overall, it's been very poor. Imanaga now in his career versus the Brewers, 24 and 2/3 innings pitched, 25 hits, 18 earned runs, 7 home runs, 4 walks to 21 Ks. We know the walks were never an issue, but we knew the home run ball was going to be an issue for Imanaga. And unfortunately, it just came at a time where we didn't need it. And the Cubs offense didn't come through. I will say this. I wrote down one particular player that I just despise seeing celebrate. I think he's probably the most awkward human being in the entire world. Jacob Mizorowski.
Let's talk about him.
3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And I'll tell you what, when I saw 104 on the screen, I got very terrified very quickly. And then he went 97-mile-per-hour slider on Ian Happ on when it was a favorable account for Ian Happ as well. I'm sorry, folks, but there comes a point when that type of arm, if he is on, there's not much you can do. And I'm just being truthfully honest here, Kyle. I'm sorry. What in the hell are you supposed to do against a player like that? Against a pitcher like that?
Well, I mean, I have a few thoughts about this. First of all, I don't know the answer to that question because, I mean, and what's crazy is, okay, we have Daniel Palencia, which is fun. It's fine. But it seems like every one of these playoff teams has like 2 guys that throw 100 and one of them is throwing 103, 104. Mason Miller and what's his name? Robert, what's it called?
Robert
Suarez.
Yep.
And then you've got Mrzarowski, and then you got freaking Ashby leading off the game throwing 99. You know?
Jacob Koenig tonight throwing 100 from the left side.
Right? I mean,
it's getting up there. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. But Mizorowski, let me ask you a question. If pitcher's still batted, would he have a fastball in his rib cage right now? I wanted to see one tonight, and I thought no one deserved it more than him.
It was celebrations I've never seen before. And look, I know deep down, I just want to say horrible things about him and all this stuff, right?
We could say the same thing for Pete when he's playing well, but I mean, I just despise the Brewers so much, and I just want anyway. Go ahead, keep going.
I thought I would just ask one more thing, and I sincerely mean this, and please respond if you'd rather talk about this in the off season. Shota Imanaga has a conditional club option here in 2026. Yeah. Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to save it for the offseason?
I think let's save it.
Okay.
I know I brought it up in our group text earlier tonight. I do not feel great about it, but I'll tell you what, I feel great about Shota Imanaga next year as a number 4 or 5 starter. You know?
We're gonna move on to game 3. No. Well, I mean, look. I don't disagree with you. It's just that you add Cade Horton and Justin Steele to the top of this rotation, along with J-Mo, Matthew Boyd, and Shota Imanaga. It changes everything. And then look, injuries. Yes, we can all sit here and find injuries on every single squad, right? But the fact is that we are rolling out there Matthew Boyd, who has had a abysmal second half. Shota Imanaga, who you just really don't know what the hell you're going to get at this point, especially against a team like the Brewers, as it's just not a great matchup. Hell, Jackson Churio tonight, we thought was going to be out. He all of a sudden is putting balls, over the yard. And so, I mean, look, it's just a whole situation. I just think that we're going to talk about it here in a little bit as to just how in the hell they even find a chance in hell of doing something. But
can I say something that just kind of like, as I'm watching the game unravel, just kind of sticks out to me? Like,
yes,
this was child's play for Pat Murphy and the Brewers. Like this is a 5-year-old in a 2-year-old sandpit. Like that's what it was like tonight. You know why? Here's what I wonder. The first thing I wonder is if Quinn Priester was actually in the game plan. And then Pat Murphy was like, wait a second. Can I save Quinn for game number 3? It's 4-3, but it sure feels like 12-0. Let's try. Like that's what I think the first thing might have been. I don't know. I'm completely speculating there. But the facts here, Jackson Churio. Oh, you think I have a hamstring issue? Just kidding. Here's a 3-run homer on an 0-2 pitch at 101 miles an hour. William Contreras. Hey, I got a message from my brother. Ding! All right. Jacob Mizrowski. Oh, 5.36 ERA in the second half. I'm going to make you guys look like little leaguers. Then Chad Patrick. Anyone know what Chad Patrick was doing in the middle of the season? He was pitching in freaking AAA. That guy would have been our number 2 starter in the playoffs. And he's pitching in AAA. And Pat Murphy is like, you know what, Chad, go out there for an inning. Let's see what you can do. Oh, 1, 2, 3 with 2 strikeouts. Awesome. And then, hey, we don't hit home runs. I don't know if you saw all the reports, but, Cubs hit 3 home runs in the first game. Brewers didn't. That's the one advantage the Cubs have. Oh, we don't hit home runs. Here's 3 with 2 outs to just completely put a dagger in your game and your season. Like, it was just one thing after the other of just like, we are playing games with you. And, a lot of people, when I put on Twitter that I despise the Brewers, and a lot of you might think the same thing here, they say, well, they've got a third of the payroll. I think it's even less than that. And they put up great teams. You should respect them. I too. And I think that's why I despise them so much. To quote Jerry Seinfeld, how can I have a relationship with her? I respect her. I mean, he didn't say it in those words, but you know where I'm going. I just it's a good time, I just literally like I despise them because I want the Cubs to take one iota of what they do and add on the fact that they have money and just develop something. The only person you developed on this team that's really shining, no offense to Matt Shaw, because I really like Matt Shaw, but he's not shining right now, is Cade Horton. And where is he? He's smoking cigars and cracking ribs, And again, we don't know if it was from the cigar.
We don't know. We have no idea.
I like to think that.
We do not have sources or anything. Kyle, do you actually believe, and I think this might get people riled up, and I'm okay doing that. Do you think having Cade Horton in this series really makes that much of a difference?
No, I think we would have won 1 game.
Okay.
And right now I think we're not going to win any. I'm sorry to be a pessimist, but I mean, I think JMO will go out there on Wednesday and he'll do well. But I just think this team is too good. The Brewers are just too good. So if we win 1 game, maybe with Cade, we could have won 2. And then we could have had a respectable losing series, which I know we want to talk about that in a second too. But no, I don't. Even with Cade going into the playoffs, I still was like, it's going to be really difficult to even win a series. So, I mean, I just want to say that for a second. Like, let's all bask in the glory of the fact that like this team since June was basically a 500 team, a little bit better than that. And a lot of us thought like this team is not going to do that well in the playoffs, and they won their first series. And that was a nice surprise. A lot of people had them favored, and that's fine. I still was scared, against the Padres because of that bullpen, and we found a way. And so to even be in the NLDS, I think is a great win, but that's not where I want to be. Like, I think all of us in the comments here, I think everyone that's joining in, I think you, Ty, as well, if a team that has a third, fourth, fifth of the payroll of us can develop players and can continuously outperform expectations, but actually internally they're performing up to their own expectations, why can't we do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Interesting stat for you, Kyle. Do you know, and I'd love to ask the folks here in the comments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to roll the obvious shirts commercial so folks can comment in the comments and see if they can name this answer. But in the history of the Cubs organization, Kyle, again, don't answer right now. We're going to wait till after the commercial. And to all our lovely listeners, we have 50 of you with us tonight. We know it's super late, so thank you. Do you know the Cubs' record after being down 0-2 in a series in their history? I want you to hold on. I want you to think about that. I'm going to give you about 24 seconds. And to our listeners, please, I want you to comment and make sure you like this video first. But I want you to comment and let us know what you think. We'll give you the answer here after this commercial. We'll be right back.
Setup Nation, I want to take a quick break so that you know how you can support our channel and wear some cool swag like this. We've teamed up with Obvious Shirts to give you a chance to have your very own Setup Man shirt or hat. Pick from 3 different types of shirts or my personal favorite, the trucker hat. Go to the link in the description of this video and podcast to claim your Setup Man apparel. And thank you so much for supporting our channel. I love this question, Ty. I love this question.
Okay. So let's see here. And looks like we got a few answers here. Mark commented 2020, 2026. He meant 2016. We have, let's see here, the Mighty Steve with probably Ofer and none, not even 16. Well, the answer actually
Can I guess?
Yes,
Can I guess?
Yes. I'm so sorry. I got so
excited.
Okay,
you asked for record. You didn't ask for wins. You asked for record. So I'm going to try to get as close as possible. I'm going to go 2-7.
It's actually 2016 is the only time the Cubs have ever come back from being down 2-0 in a series. And we all love that year. We all cherish that year. But since 1929, there have been 10 times the Cubs have been down 0-2 in a series and have lost all of them except 2016.
Okay, sorry. I misunderstood the question. So, okay, but they were down 3-1. So you're saying down 2 games.
Down 2 games.
Okay, got it. I thought you were asking what's their record when they're down 0-2. Like what that third game, what's their record?
That's my apologies. And I'm not here to be a professional question asker.
You're just the host.
I'm just the host. I just talk about the sports team that just grinds my gears and it makes me want to drink.
Okay, but that question feeds in perfectly to what I came to the realization of here, Ty. And I know we've got fans of all ages here. So apologies to any of the older fans that are like, I know the exact batting order of Game 3 in 1969. I wasn't even a thought then. I became a Cubs fan in 99. I'm going to blend over 1998 because I felt like I had the carryover of that season when I became a Cubs fan in 99. When you look at every single playoff trip that the Cubs have made since 1998, since I have been a Cubs fan, there has only been one season when we have a ending that is respectable. And of course, that's 2016. What I mean by respectable, though, is okay, for example, a lot of you were part of the Cubs playoff run in 2003. Had they lost Game 5 to the Braves, that would have been a respectable going home, not with our tail between our legs, not trying to think about, oh my God, is the world coming to an end? But of course, we know what ended up happening. They're up 3-1 against the Marlins and yada, yada, yada. And we end up losing it and being heartbroken. Every single postseason since then, they have either been embarrassed or heartbroken as they leave the playoffs outside of 2016. I'll just go down the list. 1998, 3 games and out against the Braves, right? Was it the Braves? Yeah, it was the Braves. 2003, heartbroken against the Marlins. 2007, 3-0 against the Diamondbacks. 2008, 3-0 against the Dodgers. 2015, 4-0 against the Mets. 2016, win the World Series, of course. 2017, the best argument you could have for a respectable exit, lost in 5 games to the Dodgers. Still didn't think I think I even like tuned out after they were down 3-0 because I was just like, there's just no way. 2018, 1-0 or 1-out against the Rockies. 2020, 2-out against the Marlins. And here, if they lose on Wednesday, they will be 3-out against the Brewers. Every single playoff series since I've been a Cubs fan outside of 2016, they have gone home with their tail between their legs. That is not a good trend.
You don't want to know what's really, really funny, though?
What's
I
that?
just screwed up that entire segment because the Cubs were actually 1-1 between games 1 and 2. So the Cubs, all time, when they go down 0-2, they have never won a series that is the last series of their season.
Yeah.
I really wanted to make sure I corrected that because I apologize, but I must have missed
so
that.
What you're saying is you didn't hear anything I just said. You were just really stuck on your stat.
We're going to talk about game 3. So game 3, the projected starter right now for the Cubs. Again, these are not announced, but the Cubs are likely going to start Jameson Taillon. Okay. Last outing versus San Diego in game 3 of the wild card, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 4 Ks. Last outing versus Milwaukee on August 19th. In a critical 5-game series that we all remember and really, really enjoyed. We all hated at the beginning because that's when Cade Horton got the blister. Ended up in a great result. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 0 home runs. And this was returning from his calf injury that at the time, we all were very, very concerned about that start. But obviously things have changed and we all know how good JMO has looked since returning from his injury. On the flip side, now, you mentioned this earlier, Kyle, is you talk about Pat Murphy and just totally changing things around, right, throughout the game and probably having a set list and saying, you know what, screw the list. We're just going to throw Mizorowski for 3 innings. Right now, we think it's going to be Quinn Priester. Okay, so I'm going to read his stats. But again, who knows what the Brewers will do now because they just saw what it did to the Cubs by throwing a lefty as an opener. So do they start Quintana right away, possibly? Allow Freddie Peralta to go game 4? We'll see. But looking at Quinn Priester, so his last outing was against the LA Angels. It's going to be 11 days between that start and Wednesday. But he did go 5 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 earned, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Last outing against the Cubs, which was on, look at that, August 21st, was 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned, 0 home runs, 5 walks to 4 Ks. He's only given up 1 home run in his last 6 starts, which plays pretty damn well at a ballpark like Wrigley. Okay. Kyle.
Yep.
What do the Cubs need to do to win game 3?
Get out their voodoo doll. Make sure that the alarm clocks for all the Brewers players are set 3 hours ahead. I don't know.
Pull the fire alarm. Who is going to do that for this team?
Canceling the dancing girls. Name that movie.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm
Liar,
sorry.
Liar.
Okay.
No, I mean, I will say this. I mean, I feel great about JMO. I think that JMO can go out there. They got another off day, so I mean, the bullpen's going to be fresh. It wouldn't surprise me if they go and win on Wednesday, and get our hopes up again. So, it's just it's tough to sit here and say what the Cubs need to do because anything we say that the Cubs need to do in order to counteract the Brewers say, never mind, we have that club in our golf bag too. You know, like, hey, we got to get to Priester. Oh, never mind, we got Mizorowski in the golf bag. Hey, we got to hit more home runs than them. Oh, we got that in the golf bag too. That's our hybrid, you know, like that's that's just who this team is. And so it's really tough to sit here and be like, here's what the Cubs need to do, because the X's and O's against the Brewers, just they're not predictable. So I don't have the answer to that right now, but I would like to see JMO go 4 or 5, maybe, if I'm being greedy, 6 innings, and show Craig like, hey, I should be the guy for you moving forward if by some miracle we're able to get out of this series alive.
I loved this comment here. Win Wednesday and start Mr. Ben Brown on Thursday.
I mean, why the heck not? Great
why
idea.
the heck not?
It's a great idea.
The Cubs struck out 11 times again. They struck out 11 times again. We talked about it.
That's below their average during the playoffs. 11.75 is their average.
Wow. Wow. This is how desperate we are to find information that somehow leans us to be optimistic in the 0.1, I would say 0.001% range, between zero of our optimism we have for this team. Look, to everyone listening, and again, I just saw we had about 65 people in here tonight with us, and we sincerely appreciate it. We know it's super late. You guys probably are all sitting there just like us. Imagine trying to do a show right now and talk about what in the hell this team needs to do. And look, 2 games at Wrigley, at least one, but 2 games at Wrigley, I think does build a little bit of just slightly minuscule optimism.
Yep, I agree.
It's really one of those things, Kyle, and you said it earlier and you said it best. So I want to give you all the credit in the world for this comment. When teams are on a World Series run, like the Brewers are, you can tell, right? You could feel it. Any moment of optimism we have felt in this series has been completely erased in the first effing inning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both games were decided after the first inning, and it was tied after this one, but we all knew. And we all knew. If you're a Cub fan, you knew.
And I mean, dude, I don't think I have cheered louder in a first inning all year long. Leadoff home run by Bush. I was up out of my seat. 3-run homer by Seiya. Unfortunately, because of the Dodgers game, I didn't get to see it, but I see him rounding the bases, and that's the first introduction of the game to me today. So maybe it's my fault for being able to start watching the game, because everything went downhill from there. But I was just like, I mean, I'm shouting, I'm scaring my kids, like I'm ready to go, and within 5 minutes, it's just like poof, gone. But you know what? As we're talking about this, Ty, I would like to give a little bit of optimism, because, that's who we are. We like to blow some sunshine up your butt.
And what would that be, Kyle?
Okay, so first of all, Jose Quintana is not going to start on Wednesday. There's just no way. Here's why I say that: because he hasn't pitched since September 14th, so it's been over 3 weeks, and in his 4 games before that, he had a 7.40 ERA in 20 innings. So you got Priester's the guy. Find a way to beat Priester in game 3. And going back to game 1 of why I was so confused, why is Freddie Peralta going into the 6th inning? Why is he throwing 95 pitches? Now, Freddie Peralta is not going to be pitching game 4. He is set for game 5. I thought that was, I'm going to be honest, I thought that was mismanagement of Freddie Peralta. When you're up 9, what was it? It was 9-1 at one point, and Freddie Peralta is still going out there. Unless like Pat Murphy was just like, well, I know Freddie, and even if he only throws 20 pitches today, he's still not going to bounce back that quickly, so we might as well run him out. I don't know if they know something that we don't, but I mean, who do they pitch in game 4? Who do they start in game 4 if there's a game 4? Maybe it is Jose Quintana. And suddenly you're like, well, I like this matchup, even though, I mean, again, who are we going to do? Aaron Savali, Ben Brown?
Do you just take the game 2 rotation of pitchers and just throw them in there again? Obviously, Mizorowski.
No, I don't want to see Shota. I don't want to see Shota the rest of the...
No. I'm saying from the Brewers' perspective.
Because everyone went so short. I don't see how they I mean, Mizorowski 4 innings.
Mizorowski doesn't go 3. Mizorowski doesn't go 3 innings at Wrigley. That's a different. He has the crowd behind him. That was
no.
different.
It's a good point. Yeah, they might be rested up enough to do that. They might be a bullpen game for Game 4. But I still like that. I still like that opportunity. So anyway, I think if you win Game 3, there's a little bit of optimism that I've got.
I just want to hear a crazy story about what this team does tomorrow together to be like, just try to just get the cobwebs off, like just like find something that just gets the boys going. Like you have all this playoff experience in JT Swanson and others that just you can just like breathe. The Brewers kicked your ass for 2 straight games, right? They kicked your ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's over with. They kicked your ass in their home ballpark, and they made you look like a minor league baseball team, right? There has to be pride. And I think that you can't really name a better situation than coming to home in Game 3 than what we need right now. Again, folks, I am trying to find it. I'm starting to sell myself a little bit on them winning Game 3 and then finding a way to win Game 4. It's just that, like, guys are going to have to step up that have been awful through the playoffs. And you called it the other day, Kyle. Matt Shaw has not been very good, right? Kyle Tucker needs to figure it out here after 2 games of ugh. Yep. Okay? Saya's done his job. Happer, we know you hit that homer, but we're going to need to see a little bit out of you too, right? I'm trying to find something. There's still 56 people with us, and I don't know how you're doing it, folks, but we're finding it. That's really great, Rojo. I love that for you, my friend. Maybe you need that right now. You go find that, Rojo. You go find that.
We're gonna be here no matter what on Wednesday.
We're gonna be here, and we're gonna soak it in. Wrigley is going to be electric. There's no doubt in my mind. The Brewers are going to be pretty relaxed. Game 3. A lot of great steakhouses to go to right around that beautiful north side of Chicago, right? Maybe a couple guys have a couple too many glasses of wine. Okay. William Contreras, I'm looking at you, pal. Christian Yelich, you haven't had fun in a long time, buddy. Jackson Churio, you might be underage, but go ahead, young guy. Go ahead, young stud. Cubs better be ready to freaking play on Wednesday. We're gonna need Wrigley behind their backs, but those boys got to show up.
Need it. Listen, win 1 game, maybe 2, and maybe I'll change my tone about not having a respectable losing series since becoming a Cubs fan. But right now, the way that it's felt these first 2 games, that feels like a tall mountain to climb. And I'm just being realistic right now. But again, you win Game 3, and we could come on here on Wednesday night and really start to reconvince ourselves.
The one guy that can get us to climb that mountain and get us just a couple miles up of it is Jameson Taillon. And I'm excited to watch him pitch on Wednesday at Wrigley Field, 4:08 p.m. Central Time. I know that we all know this ball club. Just find a way to win a baseball game. Worry about Game 3. Just focus on Game 3. Game 4 will be there. It'll be on the schedule. The ticket prices will be there. The beer prices will be there. They'll all be there for you, Cubbies. Okay? But to everyone, sincerely, that tuned in tonight, that took time out of their probably wasted night of watching this team underperform once again in Milwaukee, thank you. We sincerely appreciate you. Kyle, any last words before we sign off, my friend?
I just don't want to see the Brewers celebrate at Wrigley.
Amen. All right. Well, to everyone that tuned in to another edition of the Setup Man podcast, thank you so much. And we will see you Wednesday right after the last pitch live here on the Setup Man Network. Oh, I need to ice up, and ice up my drink. Thank you, everyone.